Textbooks say that it takes more than 24 hours to complete digestion. The food is slowly pushed down through our gut, breaking it into its building blocks so that each cell can eventually benefit from this tasty food. However, when you're suffering from diarrhea, the time it takes for your food to journey from mouth to anus is shockingly short. Why is that? Quite simply, when afflicted with diarrhea, the gut cannot absorb nutrients and water. Instead of being systematically broken down and absorbed, which happens during normal digestion, food gets rushed through the digestive tract and dumped out the other end. Under normal conditions, enzymes in the GI tract dismantle large molecules, like starch and protein, into smaller chunks of monosaccharides, such as glucose and amino acids. Cells of the small intestine must then catch these nutrients. The large intestine absorbs the water, not just from food and drink, but also the water that the body secretes to aid digestion. Diarrhea doesn't give the gut cells enough time to catch and absorb these nutrients. This explains the loose and watery excretion and why we need to go to the bathroom every few hours when we have diarrhea. When lactose intolerant people drink milk, for example, they get diarrhea. When people eat unhygienic food, they can also get diarrhea. In some rare cases, people have prolonged bouts of diarrhea, which may indicate a more serious problem. As you may know, diarrhea can occur for multiple reasons. For example, the lactose intolerant type of diarrhea is called osmotic diarrhea. Lactose, the predominant sugar in milk, associates with or holds water molecules. However, lactose intolerant individuals can't break down lactose because they lack the lactase enzyme. Cells in the small intestine cannot absorb lactose whole, so the lactose retains the water, making the resultant poop watery. Such diarrhea, fortunately, only lasts as long as the food remains in a person's system. Once the milk has left the system and the person has fasted for a while, the problem usually resolves. The gut, when threatened with a pathogenic bacteria that you've eaten, triggers a set of abnormal reactions within the stomach, and a sophisticated suite of nerves snap into action. This threat signal is transmitted to the brain, which hits the emergency button and orders the gut to flush everything out ASAP. Water and other fluids mix with the bad food and hasten the exit process of the food from the body. Now, digested food in our gut doesn't just sprout legs and move along when it's told. Smooth muscles that line the digestive tract contract and relax, pushing the food forward. This muscular propulsion, called peristalsis, is coordinated by the gut's own nervous system, the enteric nervous system, or ENS, and the brain. Deranged motility is when the muscle propulsion system of the gut stops working properly. We still don't know specifically why and how this happens. The ENS and its interactions with the gut, controlled through hormones and other chemical messengers, are quite complex. Considering all of this, if you try to determine the exact cause of your diarrhea, you may never find an answer. However, if such an ongoing condition is not treated properly and swiftly, it could become a life-threatening symptom. As always, be sure to consult your doctor and take care of yourself.